Afternoon.
Coach, what would it be like for you guys? I know you've utilized Eric Tomlinson, Saubert, Alberto, and even Andrew Beck a little bit, but what does it do for you guys kind of getting a guy like Greg Dulcich involved in the offensive scheme, whatever it may be?
Allows us to stay more multiple. You know, those bigger type tight ends that can run down the field, you can do a lot of things with those guys. You can keep them in the box, you can spread them out. Versatility at that position is key for this system, and just building off of that, their athletic ability and their ability to learn everything. They got to line up at the receiver position or in the backfield or in line, so there's a lot on their plate. So give them as much as they can take and then try to plan around that.
In your experience, how long does it usually take a tight end to kind of grasp all the facets of the position, because they've effectively got to learn kind of three disciplines compared to other positions?
Between the tight end position, the quarterback position, taking a jump from the college level to the NFL, there's a lot of adjustments that have to be made. It's learning the details of every position, especially in this system. It's you gotta be smart with what you give them. Obviously with Greg not having pads on and not working through it since camp, like, you're going to have to evaluate to see what he can do still, and what he's picked up when he was last in pads, and we just got to be smart with if we utilize him. So
KJ, 5 games in, a few targets, he had the big reception, obviously. Is there at this point kind of a concerted effort to get him more involved, get him kind of jump-started here going forward?
Yeah, we'd love to get KJ more involved. It's you just got to deal with him coming back and just being on a pitch count as far as the reps and being patient with that process. But he's a guy that's an explosive player still, and credit to him coming back from that ugly injury that we didn't even know if he's going to play again. So he's earned that right to get more opportunities.
And he said he's fully healthy, ready to go. Pitch count, how have you seen him kind of just handle that, and knowing he obviously probably wants to be out there?
Yeah, we were smart throughout the whole process of him coming back, and then as he grew and got more confident with his legs again, and being able to make the cuts that he used to make, it's progressively gotten better, and those rep counts are going up.
Calvin Anderson played a lot at right tackle in the offseason and training camp. If he has to play left tackle, how much of an adjustment is that, not just for him, but a tackle to go from right to left?
That's a huge deal, and I think Calvin's a unique player because he's able to handle that. We've kind of mixed him around in the offseason, and he played left tackle in the third preseason game against Buffalo. So, he feels comfortable at both positions. You got to flip your brain in a sense where if you're ingrained to stay on one side and then move to the other side, it's almost impossible for some guys to do it. But he's handled it pretty well.
What were some of your takeaways from the look at the offense since the Colts game?
We dove really deep into what we've been doing the last couple weeks, and just ripping everything apart and kind of building off of what we've been successful with, and just kind of honing in on the concepts, formations, and personnels that have been successful for us, and kind of building from there. It's you don't want to rip everything apart and start from scratch. You want to build on some things that you can lean on. So it was a lot of looking around, having that extra day, and it was a great opportunity for us to do self-scout. We do self-scout weekly, but really diving into the video and having the numbers match up with it, it's been really good for us.
How would you grade just the offensive line in general through 5 games? Obviously, you guys have been banged up. I think every guy's been hurt at some point other than Lloyd.
Yeah, having rotating chairs and injuries and all those things that happen with a new system and getting live reps against different people, there's a lot of things that need to be factored into it. I'm proud of those guys. They've been battling, and then having situations where you go from typical inside zone scheme to more outside zone scheme and buying into that process. There's still process to be made there, and I think that having these adversity situations with the injuries and all that, it's just part of the game at this point. And it's a credit to the position coaches of getting those guys coached up that are not starters, treating them like starters. That way they can step into a role like this.
When you look, time for a couple more. When you look at trying to crack some of the drops that have happened here in these weeks, are they mental, is it technique, or kind of how do you go about fixing those?
Yeah, it's a focus thing. You know what I mean? You got the big lights. We've been on prime time for a while now, so it just seems like every week. And you got to be able to handle those situations, those pressure situations, and trust the techniques that you've been doing. I mean, they're catching jugs every single day. They got distraction drills. There's all these things that they're getting primed and ready for. They just got to concentrate when it comes to the moment of truth there.
Do you think you have some guys pressing right now because the touchdowns haven't come?
I think there's a lot of pressing going on, and there's got to be a situation where you got to breathe. You know, there's not a process where there's a magic bean you put in the ground and all of a sudden a product comes up. You know, you got to be patient with it. You got to water it. You got to just be ready for your opportunity when it does come. So, you know, those are situations that we got to take advantage of, just like the drops he was just talking about. When your opportunity comes, you got to capitalize. And we just got to be patient with that. There's a fine line between patience and pushing to win. We all know that. There's a lot of urgency to that, but you also can't, you know, go crazy and just think about all that.
Does that apply to the coaches too?
Absolutely. Yes, it is full bore. You know, you want the best for the system, the best for the organization, the fans. But, you know, you got to step back a little bit and understand that this is a process that we got to be patient with.
So what helps you breathe?
Gosh, probably, you know, light music in my office, candles for sure. Lavender? Yeah, I got pumpkin spice up there right now. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.